Hello my dear friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara, and today we're going to be going over Sun in the 5th house, or if you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. This video is also going to resonate for people who have Leo occupying their 5th house as well. So the Sun in our natal charts deals with our ego, our identity, our sense of self. It could be our pride, what we find pride in. Sometimes they say with the Sun is who we think we are. Other times I've heard with the Sun that is who we are growing into becoming or aspiring to be. Also, the Sun can represent the father as well, or that dominant masculine role in your life. So the 5th house in our natal charts is that Leo energy on its own already. So the 5th house is all about love, dating, and relationships. It's all about the inner child, the children overall, creativity, being seen, and being on that stage. So when you guys have Sun in the 5th house, now obviously it's going to depend on the sign in here and the aspects and all of these wonderful things, but overall Sun in the 5th house, this is an entertainer, this is a performer, this is going to be someone who needs to be seen. Keep this in mind. You guys need to be seen, you guys need to be on that stage. Always what I say for this type of energy is if there is no stage, usually these people will create one for themselves. And these days it's amazing with the internet and our phones, it's very, very easy to create your own stage. So when you guys have Sun in the 5th house, it's going to be really, really important for you guys to be seen. Now keep in mind this energy can go into the shadow, because this energy can very much be the type of energy where it's like all publicity is good publicity. So it's like if you guys aren't being seen in a divine sense, you guys might be going into the shadow aspects of the energy to be seen in any sort of light, even perhaps creating drama or just like theatrics overall in your day-to-day life, or just like issues in general where you guys are getting that attention, because this energy is going to thrive off of the attention of a crowd. Now what's a little bit tricky with the 5th house energy overall is that the crowd, especially in the beginning, isn't always necessarily going to be there. And then that in turn could really, really affect your guys' ego or just overall your self-esteem. That 5th house energy, I can always see it dealing with the solar plexus chakra in a sense of the confidence, the sense of self, your self-worth, your identity in this way. So it's important to understand that when you guys do start something, that usually everyone starts at 0. Nobody starts at the top right away. Usually people have to make their way there. So when you guys are starting something out, the challenge here is that 5th house energy basically feeds off of the crowd. You guys are looking for that admiration or just like the applause or just like the validation overall that whatever you guys are doing or performing or presenting is basically getting some sort of positive reaction out of the people, out of the crowd. So in the beginning, when that's not there, it's going to be very, very challenging for you guys, because it's going to affect your self-esteem. That's the whole thing with Leo energy in general. Even if you guys have Leo in the 5th house, like the whole thing with Leo energy is like a lot of their self-worth is contingent upon that validation, the crowd, or the admiration. But it's important to understand that everybody starts at 0. So sometimes with this energy, what might happen is you guys might put yourselves out there and you guys might not get the outcome that you guys are seeking, or there might not be anybody there or something of the sort. And you guys can really feel affected by this and then kind of go into hiding. And then you guys might go into the shadow of the energy where it's like you guys are creating maybe dramas in your day-to-day life to still get that attention that you guys are seeking. You guys don't want to go into this energy. It's important to understand the overall energy of this earth plane, and the things that do get rewarded down here are going to be hard work, effort, perseverance, and working towards some sort of end goal is really, really what that is. So if there is some sort of end goal that you guys are interested in pursuing or even achieving, it'll probably be very beneficial for you guys to create some sort of plan of how you guys are going to go about getting that. So like, let's say you guys are interested in acting or theater or something of the sort, perhaps taking classes or doing improv classes, and then meeting the people and connecting and networking and so on and so forth, so you guys can find your way to that stage that you guys are looking for and seeking. Obviously depends on the rest of the combinations in your natal chart. Let's say it is something where you guys do want to maybe do something online, like maybe start your own channel or maybe start some sort of social media page. Well, in this case, all you really, really need is a phone and your creative self. So you guys are just going to have to be okay with that initial beginning stage of basically nobody being there, and just continuing and persisting toward whatever the end goal is, because things definitely do take time down here on this earth plane. And ultimately at the end of the day, it really is all about perseverance. I find a lot of the time that in this world, the people that are the most successful are the people who are the most perseverant, who are okay with getting knocked down and eventually continue getting up, and they continue persevering toward their goal. So for you guys, maybe it'll be helpful when you guys do start out with whatever you guys do start out with, to picture that crowd, kind of like the placebo effect, and picture getting the admiration that you guys are seeking and kind of using that as fuel, at least in the beginning. And eventually you guys will get to that point where you guys already do have that crowd, and then you guys are going to be in that full entertainer and performer mode is really what that is. Now the fifth house can manifest into a lot of different ways. I've seen this energy. Yes, it can be a performer, it can be an entertainer, it can be a comedian, actor, actress, anything creative, anything where you guys are being seen. But I've also seen politicians with this energy as well, even entrepreneurs or teachers as well. Maybe some of you guys might be interested in working with children in this way, where you guys are a teacher, and through your profession as a teacher, maybe you guys are a little bit more funny and you guys are entertaining the children. Honestly, it can manifest many different ways, but the name of the game for you guys is to be seen and to be creative. So how you guys go about getting that or achieving that is really going to be up to you guys. Let's say you guys are working maybe at a corporate job and you guys aren't being seen creatively, although with this energy, even in the corporate world, you guys might find yourselves in these leadership positions where you guys are being seen. So a facilitator of some sort, maybe like a trainer, maybe even like a manager or something of the sort, where you guys are kind of in these positions where you guys are presenting and you're being seen in this way. But still, like, let's say you guys are working at a job where it's like you're kind of hiding away and you're in a corner somewhere. That's not really going to work for this energy. You guys are still going to have that desire to be seen. It could work if you guys are kind of just using the job as a financial resource to fund perhaps something you guys are doing on the side. So it's like, let's say after work, you guys go to your improv class, or after work, maybe you guys are working on your side hustle where you guys are being seen, or maybe in your free time, you guys are starting out with like community theater or something of the sort, where it's like you guys are still satisfying that part of yourselves that wants to be seen. So that's the name of the game here. Now, another thing that I do want to mention, because the sun can deal with the father or that dominant masculine role in your life, this is really interesting because the energy can go into one of two directions, either the light version or the shadow version. Perhaps when you guys were younger, the father nurtured this aspect of you guys, so allows you to be seen, allowed you to be on that stage, or perhaps the father could have been someone who was very much like attention seeking themselves or had all the attention on themselves. So it's like maybe you guys have this aspect of you where it's like subconsciously or even unconsciously you guys don't want to outperform the father. There could be an energy of this as well. Or it could go in the direction where it's like your light was suppressed, your light was dimmed, you weren't able to be creative. Maybe you were like the silly, goofy kid that wanted to be like in theater or like took drama classes after school, like these types of things. And maybe the father was like very different, for example. Maybe the father was like super corporate, for example, and like did not quote unquote approve of you guys doing this, or maybe unconsciously you guys kind of felt like you didn't receive the approval of the father with this energy. So there could be something going on here where it's like if you guys aren't expressing yourselves creatively or in this creative light, you guys are going to basically have to go and explore the relationship and the dynamic with the father and what could energetically be taking place here as to why you guys aren't fully going into that shining light and expressing yourselves, and why you guys might be dimming your light is really what that is. Because overall, this is the entertainer. Like, it's like that ball of energy. It's the person who uplifts everyone. You guys might be the person at work who's just like always in a good mood, or just like super positive, or like makes everybody laugh. A lot of the time with like sun in the fifth house people, like if they aren't in a good mood or like they are feeling down about themselves, they're usually the types of people who are going to kind of be hiding away in their corner. Like, let's say your friends ask you to go out or like go to a party or something of the sort. You guys might be the type of person, let's say you guys are feeling down or something of the sort, where it's like you guys don't want to bring everybody else down, or you guys are so used to being the entertainer for the friend group and you guys don't go out with your friends because you guys are not in like that shining light energy. But it's going to be really important to understand for this energy that it's like you guys don't always have to be on, you guys don't always have to be entertaining everyone, because sometimes you guys can really take on a lot of this persona where it's like you guys are just always entertaining everybody, and it's kind of like the role you guys have taken on. And it's like if you guys aren't in that mood, you guys kind of might avoid everybody because of this, because you guys might not be able to uplift everyone. Obviously, sometimes people just have days where they don't want to hang out with their friends, absolutely. But the whole like concept here is like you guys don't always have to be on, is really what that is. You don't always have to be entertaining everyone. You don't have to put the pressure on yourselves to just constantly be in this role. And if you guys are having like an off day where it's like you guys avoid everybody because you guys aren't able to put on a show. So that's the whole thing with this energy. Like, this energy always wants to put on a show. You guys basically get your validation from like uplifting people, even like a motivational speaker, making people laugh, basically being seen, getting the attention in this way. So that's kind of the overall idea here. Now, with the sun in the fifth house, also if you have Leo occupying your fifth house, the fifth house is the house of children. So this energy could also give us a little bit more information about what kind of children you guys would have, or like their overall vibe. So when you guys have Leo in the fifth house, the vibe of the children overall that you guys have could be very creative themselves, or they could very much be like loud and just like on that stage themselves. Or maybe from like a young age, you guys might put these children into acting or just like commercials or something of this sort with this energy. So if you guys want to learn more about the type of children you guys may have, I do have a video on that. I will link it in the description box below. It's going to be based off off of your 5th house. And so you guys can see how it works in terms of the amount of children you guys have, the vibe your children are going to have, especially if you have Leo in the 5th house, but even Sun in the 5th house can give you a little bit of information as well, because these children are going to take on some of these Leo-like qualities. Now, one more thing that I also want to mention is the 5th house does deal with love, dating, and relationships. So having Sun in the 5th house is going to be super important to you guys. Love, dating, and relationships. You guys might have a big heart. You guys might really enjoy dating, or just like meeting people that you guys connect with and maybe having fun days or doing fun things with your partner or the person you are seeing or dating. It really is the fun house, that 5th house. So when you have Sun in the 5th house, this could be something that is important to you. Now, obviously it depends on the rest of the aspects in your natal chart to see what your overall view and perception on dating is going to be. But overall, Sun in the 5th house, this is going to be something really, really important to you guys. And once again, it's an admiration. So it's like, let's say you guys are watching for someone who has Sun in the 5th house. This person is really going to live off of compliments, positive words, positive reinforcement, recognition. Like for a Sun in the 5th house person, like as long as they're getting the praise and they feel like they're being validated, especially in a relationship, like let's say you're dating someone, this person is going to feel very, very happy in this particular dynamic. And keep in mind, another thing that I do want to mention in here, not that I'm trying to put fear out there for anyone if you guys are dating someone who has this placement, but it's like if this person isn't getting this like validation or praise from their partner, they might be the type of person that is seeking that validation elsewhere. Because it's like, it's really, really interesting. It's that whole theme, even what I was saying earlier in this video as well, where it's like this energy really depends on the external energy or like the external people or like the crowd to basically validate their existence is really, really what that is. Let's say to validate them if they're super funny or like super charming or just like entertaining overall. So if you guys are dating someone who has this energy, validating them, really showering them with a lot of attention and just like really focusing on what it is that they are saying and all of these wonderful things is going to basically boost that person up. It's going to make them feel very, very nice about themselves. And then in turn, if you guys are watching this for yourselves, knowing this about yourselves, maybe communicating that to your partners that this is something that is super, super important for you guys as well. So with all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here on Sun in the 5th house. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.